Like, don't mind me.
You're so cute. My office is like freezing all of a sudden. It's like 100 degrees outside and
I
I
know.
am freezing.
You're dressed for the North Pole.
Seriously, I even have the little fuzzy little, like, this is ridiculous. But like if I turn my air off, it's going to be so hot in here. So I'm like, oh, I can't win.
I know.
So a couple people said they might jump on, but they'll be late.
Okay.
So that's fine. We could just kind of chat until other people jump on, and then they can share their thoughts and all that fun stuff. So let me get to my notes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I was like, should I have written something down? But I have my notes from.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to go off of, just like things that I highlighted. And yeah, let's see. Okay, so I definitely want to start with you to see like what your main like ahas, and they don't, I mean, even share if they're just like personal revelations of like, oh, this really helped me understand this about my relationship with this person, or you know, it doesn't have to be like, oh, now I know what to do with my business, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously that's the goal, but but just so people that might be watching that have never been to reunion can see that it's more than just an investment for their business. If it was for you, I don't know. I mean, you may not. I don't know. You let me know what you what you think.
Yeah. I think in one of the breakouts, it was focusing on your front line. So that's something where, I mean, my front line's been with me going on a year next month. So just kind of learning what each person, what they need from me, or little things that I can maybe prepare to help them out. Because I didn't realize, like, I sought out a lot of different things and just have collected a lot of things to help me. It's from follow up to like all the videos, there's PDFs, there's all these groups that I belong to. And I just kind of sought those things out, and realizing that not everybody comes with that same frame of mind, or is the same way. And that's something that I've learned about myself, is that I'll just kind of delve in. And so sharing those things, or maybe even having some kind of a checklist of what's your experience with direct sales, how organized are you, how organized are you not, you know, what does that look like to you, just little things like that may be overwhelming for somebody, that I could maybe help alleviate a little bit, so that the energy could be focused on the business or really learning something. So being that support where I can take some things off the plate for my team members, where they can really focus on the things that they want to focus on, if that makes sense.
Oh, completely.
So things like that, on that level. And then personally, it was how to get like your significant other involved. And it looks different for everybody. What are the strengths? What are their resources? What are their relationships? And how to utilize my partner in that way, without saying you're going to be a Scentsy consultant, or I expect you to do a party. Like Mitch got up and talked and said he did a party. It's like, well, that's great that you could do that. My significant other probably is not going to do that, you know, but really being able to feed off of their strengths too, without overwhelming them. Like, because it does. Scentsy does bleed into my daily life, conversations. You know, it's when people ask, what's your hobby? It's like, I don't really have a hobby per se, but I'm a business owner and this is what I do, you know? So that's how I see my time is, well, I don't just dabble in things. This is where, you know, my happy place is. So this is where I'm going to put my energy. So I'm not a hobby person per se. So utilizing my partner, and then business wise, it was, you know, follow-ups, and I even wrote Mexico, and I have it like all in caps, and I circled it.
Yay!
Like and this was like day one. So that keeps on popping up. Just, I don't know. I learned so much more than I expected, if that makes sense. As much as I know a lot of things get repeated, but everybody and every presenter, and being in, even like last year versus this year, being in a different place, being in a different mindset, listening to information differently, that's helped me really process things too. Last year I didn't have any teammates. This year I have two, you know. It just the way that things evolve, as presenters are sharing, I'm listening and thinking, I didn't think about it that way. And I've heard that person say it a lot of times because I follow them on YouTube, I follow them on Facebook, I see them in different groups. But in that moment, it was like I was really, oops, our fire alarm's going on off.
I was like, mine, or is that yours?
That's mine. They're cooking dinner.
Oh.
But really being able to listen differently, and I wrote a lot more notes. Sorry, that's annoying. So that was really cool. Being able to listen live to people that I've seen on the, you know, on my computer.
Yeah.
And listen and have those, and just have those kind of, well, I mean, it's a big room of people, but it felt like we were having like a chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really cool too.
So you said a couple things that really stuck out to me that I wanted to kind of elaborate on. So you shared how, like, you're definitely like just a go-getter, very independent, jump in. Like, I remember when you first joined, anybody that doesn't know, Michelle is my frontline, so I sponsored her into the company. And I learned a lot when you started, Michelle, because all the people I sponsored in the past were very much show me what to do, you know, walk me through this. And so when you came along, that was just what I knew. And you were like, I'll figure it out. And you did. And like, before I knew it, you were already like, your order was closed. Everything was like done. And I'm like, I'm not used to somebody being so independent. This is really kind of cool, but I feel bad. Like I felt like almost like a bad sponsor, because I'm like, I haven't helped her with anything because she's like doing it all herself. But at the same token, that's the cool part of so many different personalities, that some people are going to need you in different ways. Like, you know, I think what really is helpful with you is when we collaborate on a personal level and kind of talk about just things that we have in common, and then it just elaborates like your direction of just, but it's not necessarily me like, okay, do this, do that, do this, or whatever, like a lot of other consultants need. It's, you are very open to just like, I'm not going to sit and just wait for Jess to tell me that I need to do this. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to get on the workstation and I'm going to do this. With that being said, that doesn't mean it's bad if there are consultants out there, but I will tell you that it made me realize I was very much like that when I started. I did not wait around for my sponsor. Like, I would call her, she was busy, she didn't call back. So I was like, well, she can't answer my question, so where can I find the answer? And I would go on YouTube, I'd go on my workstation, I'd call support. And by the time she called me back, if she did, I was like, oh yeah, I've taken care of that. I'm good. Yeah. All right. Anyways. So but either way is good. Either way is fine. And so, but when you're a go-getter and just kind of independent and you don't really rely on waiting for other people to tell you what to do, you forget that other people do need that assistance. And so one thing that I learned is that I wasn't teaching people when I first started to the caliber of what I could have been, sharing what I was doing, breaking it down, because I just assume everybody was like me and would jump in and just, well, the information's right there. Why not just go? And it took me years to realize that some people really do need and or want that one-on-one direction, which is okay. Either way is good. It's just understanding that the way you may not be the way your team members are. So that's something that I'm glad you brought up, because if there's somebody that's, let's say, watching this video and they haven't sponsored yet, there might be somebody that's a go-getter. And so we just to kind of remind them as you start to sponsor, just remember that, not that, I'm not trying to insult anybody that if you're not a go-getter, but meaning just like,
no, it's
like that.
Personalities.
You like that, walk me through this, which is totally fine and totally good. And a lot of people, they don't want to make an action before they know it's right. Like, I'm not doing this until my sponsor tells me this is what I'm supposed to do, because I don't want to mess up, which is a good mentality because you want to do things the right way. But there's an expression that Tony Robbins said, and he said, if everybody waited to turn on the light switch to turn the light until they figured out how the electrical, current brings the electricity to the light bulb and how the light bulb gets turned on by that switch, we'd all be living in the dark.
Right.
So at the same token, sometimes it's good to jump in and just try it and do the trial and error. Definitely ask for guidance if you have it, but on the same token, don't wait around and let your journey stop because somebody else isn't there to direct you as fast or in the direction that you're looking, because you as an individual may sponsor somebody that has and it's very likely they're going to have totally different goals than you. Mm-hmm. And so you may want to just hang out and just, hey, I'm buying my Scentsy and I love it. And that's awesome. But the person below you is looking to take off like a, skyrocket. And so what I say as a sponsor is I let them know, like, hey, this is what I'm doing with my business, but the sky is the limit for you. So there is so much resources out there. So don't wait for me to tell you, Right. And then, so that's just something to think about as a sponsor, that if you have a sponsor that's not really directing you in the way that you think that, oh, I wish she should or he should, that may not be their way, and they may not realize that you're looking for that direction. So it's so important to verbalize and say, hey, this is what I'm needing and I'm looking to receive is, can you help me with this? And they'll let you know, like, look, I ain't looking to, be no director or anything. This is just, I just love my Scentsy. But then they'd be able to say, it's very likely they're going to direct you to somebody else, or, hey, but I heard this YouTube channel works, whatever. So I'm trying to paint a picture in all these different scenarios of whoever's watching. If you're the independent, do it. Let's not wait. Remember that your team may not be that way. But if you're I'm not really looking to do that, you may have team members that want to be that way. And just kind of one of the things we talked about, which I'm sure you'll agree, Michelle, is what was his name? I had it open and then I closed it. Hold on one second. Oh, this guy, Vin.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I don't know how, but anyways.
He's cool. He is
cool. He shared about the different perspectives of everything. And so the way you look at your Scentsy business may be different from the way your team looks at their Scentsy business and vice versa. And, really being open to the fact that what you need may not be what the next person needs. And so it's so important to find out, you know, what are you looking for? And it might change. Like, okay, the second thing I wanted to talk about of what you said is how, what was interesting to you, like last year, you looked at it in a different perspective this year. And I was just actually having a conversation before this meeting about how you can read the same book over and over and over again, but because we're constantly and hopefully growing every year, every, you know, day, that you're a different person reading that same book or that same passage or whatever, and it means something different to you, and it speaks to you in a different way, and it's going to help you in a different way. So if somebody says, oh, I've been to Reunion, okay, that's awesome. But if you continue to grow, it's important to go to Reunion every year, because you're going to get something new out of it. Whether, like Michelle said, a lot of it's repeated.
Okay.
A lot of it's repeated. I'm going to mute you so it doesn't pop up. Hold on a second. Okay. A lot of it's repeated over and over again, but the person you are today is ready to receive it today, and you weren't ready to receive it last year. When you heard the same exact thing.
From the same person.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm glad you said that. Like, you're like, I've heard it from this person before, but when you, in this perspective, you received it on a different level, which was so huge. I'm so glad you brought that up. I thought that was awesome. So since we're talking about perspective, Vin, I think his name, talked about 5 perspectives. One was rate of speech. So, and this was just how you're delivering different perspectives. So, your rate of speech was like vary it. Like 1 minute, you know, when you're talking kind of like normal, but then you kind of get excited and it keeps them kind of engaged. And then volume was also to vary, like, so your body language is the different rate of speech, but then also your volume as well, will be different. Is that what you got out of those two as well?
Yeah, I wrote vary your volume. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the tonality of how you make them feel, and how, you know, the feeling that you put into what you're sharing. So we could be talking about when you're having a sponsoring conversation, or talking about somebody, how exciting to be a host is, or even just the products, you know, sharing the products with people, or even a coaching conversation. You know, you don't want to be like, okay, Michelle, so what do you want to talk about today? And Michelle's like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta take a nap. You know,
right?
So, and then pitch. So this one, I want your guys' perspective, since we have Aubrey on too now, and Mitch just jumped off because he's home now. But what was your perspective of pitch? Because I wrote down melody in your voice. So do you think he meant, like, you know, if you have a certain pitch, it might be like distracting? Or because I don't think some people can they can't control if they have a like pitchy voice. You know what I mean? Like, I sound like a
I know. I wrote have more melody in your voice. I don't know. I mean, I've been told sometimes that I have a kind of like a singy voice. I'll be like, hello, how are you?
Oh,
yeah. You know, like that kind. And then, so that's kind of what I was thinking was, I don't know how you carry your voice. Not so much the volume, but like the inflection, maybe. I don't, you know, like we have your voice goes up and down.
I guess they all kind of parallel and link together, right?
Yeah.
In a different way.
Yeah.
Let me unmute Aubrey and see if she's got a perspective that, let me see.
What'd you get, Aubrey?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Are you there, Aubrey?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so what'd you get out of pitch?
So I thought, like, because some people, when they just are going on and on, it gets monotone, so people will tune out. But if you're like changing the pitch in your voice, like how he was saying when you whisper, people will listen closer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Yes. Yes.
So then, like, if you're excited about something, you're going to talk louder, and like the excitement's going to come out in your voice, rather than if you're just talking like this and going on, and oh, let's flip through the catalog. People will tune out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome. I do remember him specifically going, so if I talk like this, it's true. You kind of like, you get quiet and you kind of want to, okay, what is he going to say? That's a really cool, it's a really cool technique because it kind of makes people, whether they were listening or not, it changes the tone so much. They're like, oh wow, they're really quiet. Like, oh, now I have to really concentrate on listening to what this person's saying when you're talking like this.
They have to lean into you.
And then the whole pause, give time to think. So Becca Levi is amazing with this. She's always blown my mind because whenever I have like there's like squeaking in the back. So just while I talk, I'm going to mute you guys done. She'll say something and then, or I'll be talking to her and then she'll sit there and pause. And I'm like, is she still there? Like over the phone. Or even if she's in front of me, she'll just sit there and be like, and I'm like, hello, you know? And then she literally makes me think about what did I do or did I say the right thing or whatever. And then, but what she's doing is she's thinking about what I just said. And then before she's just jumping on what, you know, like a lot of people, you get excited and you want to go, oh yeah, and blah, 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 and like you cut people off, even though it's not that you're not listening. You just get so excited about what they say. And so the pause, one, makes them know that you're listening and you're paying attention to what they're saying before you respond. But then also the pause makes them time to think about what you're saying. So when you continue, they are able to really grasp what your message is instead of just pumping them with information, which I am so known for. So it really made me think like, oh man, I need to pause more.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's because we get so excited, you know, and that's what Scentsy does to us, which is a good thing. You know, it's not a bad thing, but the whole Scentsy vomiting thing, you know. Let's see. Oh, so I loved this quote that he put. He said, it's not that you're not capable, it's just you don't know how. And so that was huge because so many people join Scentsy and they see other people rocking their business and they get all insecure and they're like comparing themselves to others and they don't realize that it's not that you're not able to do the things that these other people are doing. It's just you may not be educated at the time of how to do it and then how to make it work for you. And so it takes time. That's why they say it's a journey. It's trial and error. And once you get your niche on how to work that specific thing, it really connects the dots. So, oh, and he says, change perspective from everyone to change equals opportunity, which I loved. Did you guys have any notes on him that you wanted to share?
Oh, the biggest one was you are the direct reflection of the 5 people you spend time with.
Yeah.
Amen.
And
Yeah.
What's her name? Chrissy Domino?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she spoke at Becca's team meeting.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it kind of correlates with this, but what she did was she sought out, she said the people that she, you know, if she wanted to work on something, it was, I'm going to seek out the people in Scentsy that are really good at the things that I, you know, so who's the best at, I mean, she didn't really specify, but it was, if she needed help with social media, I'm going to seek out the best one at social media. I'm going to seek out the best one at parties. I'm going to seek out the best one on recruiting. You know, and she made director within her first 6
months. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember her speaking on a Saturday call. So when she said that, I was like, well, that's pretty brave. I just follow these people, you know, but she actually sought them out, and it shows, you know. So it's, I mean, and it's in life too. I was talking to Caroline, you know, she's going to college, and it's, I mean, you can obviously apply this to anything, but perspective, you know, where do you want to be, and what do you want to learn, and who do you want to be around, which is great that, you know, your Jesse's Angels is just so positive. So it's nice, you know, that keeps that the tribe is very, very positive. So that's good.
Yeah.
So it means we're all positive.
Yeah.
So,
That's the goal, right?
That was pretty cool, though. That was a cool quote.
So, one thing about perspective is, like Chrissy, she's amazing. And you're right. She like knew what she wanted, but not everybody knows what they want and what skills they want to gain, or do they know what skills they should gain. And Chrissy, for instance, that a lot of people don't know, she's been in Pampered Chef for 16 years. And she was successful there. She was a director in Pampered Chef. And so she has a lot of experience that a lot of us don't have, of what should I be seeking? What should I be looking for? And so when she joined Scentsy, she was just like a rocket, like, boom, this is what I need to know. This is who I need to talk to. You know, who are these people? And she narrowed it down, and she was able to like just skyrocket. So, you know, I think when some people hear, oh, this person joined and 6 months later she was a director, they automatically get intimidated, or they start thinking like, oh man, I've been in this longer than her and I'm not there, and and start beating themselves up.
I definitely thought that. So thank you for sharing. She was
yes.
Well, I was sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I was like, dang.
So she has experience that, you know, under her belt that you and I had to like learn from scratch. So all that time of trial and error, she already did that with Pampered Chef, and just was able to come, just like Becca. Becca had owned a business for years, and she was a businesswoman, and she had all those, you know, ins and outs and of having a business mind. So when she joined Scentsy, boom, she was a superstar director in 6 months. So that's one thing that Becca always said to me. She's like, Jess, you can't compare yourself to me or anybody else, because my experiences in business and in life are different than yours. And so your journey is going to be different. And so that's the biggest part that we all have to remember, is that, you know, it's impossible to compare yourself to any other person's journey, because one, your lifestyle is different. Your personality is different. Your morals are different. Your goals are different. Your everything is different. And so, yes, we're all doing the same thing, but we're doing it our own unique way to benefit us the way it needs to benefit us. And so if anybody that's watching this has ever beat themselves up or compared themselves to anybody, stop. Because one, you may not know their backstory of why they're such rock stars, and you know what I mean? And then it doesn't necessarily mean, like I'm not going to name anybody, but I know a very, very successful person in Scentsy that everybody is very, very aware of. And on, you know, in the public eye everything is squeaky clean, great, and successful business. Everybody loves her, but her home life is horrible. That's why Scentsy is so successful, because that's the only thing that is happy for her. And she spends from the second she wakes up to the second she goes to sleep on Scentsy, because she ignores what goes on with her personal life, and which is very broken up in her heart. I know this because she's told me this, and she's not happy. It looks like she is, but she's not happy. So we can't compare ourselves, because do we want that life? Do we want everybody thinks I'm great and yeah, I'm making all this money, but I'm unhappy in my life? You know what I mean? We have to ask ourselves that. So when you start to compare yourself, it's kind of like that song, you know, thank God for unanswered prayers, because sometimes we ask for something that we don't know what we're asking for. Do you know what I mean? So it's so important to focus on our personal journey, our life? How's it going to benefit us? And, you know, and just really focus on what am I willing to do to grow myself? And then be okay that it may not be the pace that you'd like it to, because if you made it a faster pace, you may have to sacrifice things you're not willing to do. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's something I want everybody to think about. That is, I mean, I've had to check myself a lot in this journey because of that. And listening to her story was what really opened my eyes of like, wow, I would have never, ever thought that she was as unhappy as she is in her personal life, because what you see in social media and her success in Scentsy looks like she's the king of the world. You know what I mean? Like everything's great. And so just that's an example of don't compare yourself, because you don't know what you're comparing yourself to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Aubrey, Michelle shared about some of her takeaways and kind of experiences of what she realized on a personal level from reunion, as well as some business things that she took home. Would you like to share with us?
Um,
I'm gonna mute.
I feel like pretty much like the underlying thing that I was getting business wise from like the trainings I chose to take and like a lot of the talks, I felt like I slack with my recruiting. And so like I'm the one that's holding me back pretty much. And so business wise, that's what I took away is I need to focus, because I've been focusing just on getting my sales to a certain point. But if I put all recruiting on hold until I feel, you know, my sales are as high as I want them, that could never happen, because, you know, a car could break and I could feel like, okay, well now I need this much in sales. And so it could always be getting put off. But if I'm not building a team, then I'm really just limiting myself. So that's what I took away business wise. And personally, I just took away like a lot of, like I was getting kind of burnt out a little bit. Like I need to renew my Scentsy energy. So I took away like, I'm pumped now. I'm ready to go.
Scentsy definitely the reunions, there's definitely like a recharge, like putting the battery back in your back, like we're Scentsy buddies, and they unzipped us and they plugged it back into us. They plug it into our back. So since you're on the subject of like, you know, sales opposed to focusing on recruiting, now that you know what you know, what are some ideas that you may have thought about or that you can come up with that you can utilize the sales that you have to help you with recruiting?
Well, pretty much after reunion, I got a hold of all the girls I had on my team that had canceled. So that's where I started. Then last night on the online steps, they had the booking blitz.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I booked 3 parties, I think.
Yay!
Yeah. And 2 of them, no, 3, all 3 actually are from people that I haven't had a party with yet.
Awesome.
So I'm hoping to just expand. And then one girl that is doing a Facebook party with me, we've also talked about her joining. Okay. So now with the Earn a Kit and stuff, I'm excited to see where that goes. And then today I booked a maybe party. We're finding out what date works best for her. But it's a girl that was also on my team before. And she said she wants to rejoin like in winter after summer's over, because she's got kids and they're busy time right now. But so getting back with her, yeah, I'm just hoping to meet new people. Like we've been looking for events and just trying to get out there more, like putting myself out there more, because when like the end of my pregnancy with my 8-month-old now, I just kind of put a hold on everything and was just doing, texting people if they needed something. And that's how I was getting my orders in. But I wasn't meeting any new people. I wasn't giving out samples to new people, nothing like that. I wasn't doing events, home parties, an occasional basket party maybe. So now I'm just trying to get back into doing all of it.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
It's good that, like, Scentsy's always there when life happens. It's always there for you to jump back on, and start adding more. Like, you can always add more into your Scentsy business. Like, yeah. I've said this since the day I started. You could be as busy as you want to be with Scentsy. It's just finding where your limits are and what amount of time you're willing to put into your business, because that's where people get either burnt out, or they don't put enough in their business and they expect too much results from the amount of time they're putting in. And so there's that kind of like in between area of really finding out what they're willing to do. And that's really cool. So I'm glad that you brought up about you reached out to your previous consultants. So our previous consultants are obviously, the beauty of the reason why they have people come back for free is because they know that life happens and, it just may not be their time, but then later on they can get back into it, which is awesome. So we're always leaving a door open for them. So that was awesome. You did that. Second, a lot of consultants lose their team members and they forget how those people could end up being your best hostesses and your best customers. And they kind of just go, oh, it didn't work for them for the business. And they forget about them and not realize that you're losing so much business because they've already been sold on the business at one point. So they obviously love the free products and, the products period. So like, for instance, when we got challenged to do kind of a booking blitz in our workshop at Reunion for at leadership, I reached out to an ex-consultant and she booked a bingo party with me, which I'm nervous, guys. I've never done a bingo party before, but I got it booked. And I just saw her today, actually, because I delivered some products to her client, her friend, and who she referred me to. And so we have to remember that, what we're doing is we're adding people, giving them the opportunity. They decide whether this is for them or not. And again, they may decide it's not for them now, but like you did, is you're saying, hey, life is different. This may be something you want now. And, but even if it's not, like the lady's name, Shelly, she's like, nope, that's not what I want. I love the product. I'll book parties for you all day, but I just don't want to be a consultant. So that's okay. At least I did my job. I offered the opportunity, which this is going to blow you guys away. She earned an all expense paid to Disney World in 2016 when she joined. So she like earned all the stuff, but that still wasn't her like, whoa, Scentsy's for me type thing, which blew me away. Obviously, I was like, what? And she ended up taking the product credit. She didn't even want to go. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know how many people? Oh. But okay.
Go?
Yeah, nope, she didn't go. And she was fine with it. And so there's so many people that have taught me so many lessons that if you can believe it, there are people out there that earning trips and going places for free are just not their motivation. And I'm like, don't understand it, but we have to accept that. Like, okay, so what's exciting for us may not be exciting for somebody else. So that's, as a sponsor, it's so important to really, really dig deep, ask a lot of questions, and be okay with what inspires them and motivates them isn't what you think is the motivator or what inspires and motivates you. So that's a big eye opener. Let me see. Let me look at my notes and you guys can share if there's anything else that you wanted to share. So the Scentsy Club, are you guys super excited about this and the
Yeah.
lift boxes?
Totally.
Like, this can be a true game changer. Like, anybody that's struggling with getting active,
Yeah.
with the Scentsy Club, with a $60 box, you really only need like 4 subscribers to be active. And then with a 30 would be like 7. So, and then there might be like 2 $60 subscriptions and the rest are 30. So it's like getting.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, I'm gonna do a Scentsy Club for myself.
Me too. That's
Then
so
I
fun.
Then I can have my bars that, don't go.
Yes.
My Lush Gardenia that
I know.
may
I
not
was
love.
thinking you about that one.
But I mean, that's $60 plus like a Central Warmer of the Month is whatever, 35 to what is it, 70 or
Yeah, depending on the warmer. Yeah.
And then I have somebody that's like, yep, I'm on it, like $60 free shipping. Cool. And you can change it out and you can try new things. And if you don't like it, give it away. Make a little gift whiff box for someone, So there's just so many ways to market that, which is amazing, And for those people that feel like they're bothering us,
yes, which is crazy, but yes, so many people do. The holidays, these are going to be big for making sure that everybody recommends them for just gifts. Like, hey, I sent you a surprise and I don't even know what's in it. You know what I mean? Like, those are going to be easy, simple gifts to suggest for Christmas gifts for the holidays,
One of the trainings, not trainings, but speakers that you and I went to see with Connie.
Yeah.
Remember the grief box?
Yes.
We talked about? So that made me think about all the different ways a whiff box can be used. If somebody has a baby, you can put baby products. So people are able to customize it and send it to relatives, family, friends that don't live close by, so just really getting smart with the way that we market it, so that it's not just, you don't have to keep it. You can ship. What's a $60 baby gift? If they put the blanket and the little teething, whatever. So, being able to market things that way. And now with Disney buddies, do you know a Disney fanatic? You can make, it's just, the sky is the limit. It's just us getting smarter about how we market it on top of what home office is, giving us to market. So yes, it's available September 1st, but do you know anybody that's going to college, college students that need to do laundry? Oh gosh, I was just like, oh my God. My brain was just going.
Yes.
Because there's just so much opportunity. And $60 really for a gift or whatever is nothing. Free shipping,
Yeah. So you reminded me when you're talking about laundry. So you did something early on in your business when you were really like ready to like really boost your business. And I'm curious, I'd like you to share with everybody what you did with the laundry stuff. And then also I'm curious if you've done it recently or if you've done it again.
I was thinking about it. So in my getting out of my comfort zone, yes, I kind of just demoed the laundry products, and it was probably 2 minutes video because I was so nervous. I talked really fast because I just wanted to get it done and over with because I said I was going to do it, and so I did it. But literally at my washer, and here's the squirts, and showing people that 5 pumps, that's it, compared to what regular laundry liquid takes up, demoing it and showing the washer whiffs. So I actually demoed it to Lauren, whose husband loved it and then wound up joining.
That is awesome.
Yeah, because he said, I love it. And I think she's the only one that actually took me up on the offer
to come
over and do laundry. But I was thinking about doing it again. So we'll see.
That's a good idea. That's a great result to share.
We can do that with the new bathroom cleaner too when it comes out.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait till that comes out.
I was so excited for that.
Me too. I'm like, I've never been so excited to clean.
And it's biodegradable, all natural. So think of kids getting into chemicals.
Yes. And
That's
so
a big deal.
many of your clients are gonna say that. They'll be like, oh, is this safe for kids and this and that? And yep. That's huge. Especially that, what's it like, Norwex or something? That other direct sales company that's everything's like organic and all that stuff. So there's going to be a lot of those people that will end up, if they're that type of purchase, they've already purchased the Norwex stuff, but now they get to have Scentsy smell with the organic safety of the Norwex type thing. So
I wanted to share, and since Melissa's not on, Amy shared with me that she has really bad eczema.
Okay.
And she was having to go to a tanning bed. I don't know if she said once or twice a month to help kill the bacteria off, like from the eczema. Yeah. And our laundry products, she said she hasn't gone to the tanning bed since January because our laundry products are so gentle.
Whoa.
And the chemicals, you know, I don't know, not the chemicals, but it's so gentle that she hasn't had any problem with her skin.
Wow.
So I thought that was huge. And she said I could share. But, I mean, if there's people that have sensitive skin, and I know babies have sensitive skin, you know, that was huge.
Yeah, that's great testimony.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's awesome. That's anybody that's watching can use that as an example, you know, because sometimes we can't, you know, if somebody's at a party and they're like, oh, I have sensitive skin, but you don't, you could say, well, I don't personally know, but I know that there's somebody that experienced it and they shared their personal testimony of that.
We can have her share next Wednesday.
Yes.
When she comes.
I'm excited about
that. But I thought that was huge. So we can demo laundry products and say, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
Someone who, you know, has sensitive skin, and this has really helped her, you know. So videos would be good. Videos would be good.
Yes. I'm just looking at my notes here. Gosh, there's so much. Where do I start? Carla Hunter, first gen in direct sales. Oh, okay. So this lady, Carla Hunter, I can't connect a face right now, but I must have went to one of her workshops or something. I'm like, what's this? I didn't write down what workshop it was, but it says that she said a quote that she says, I have knowledge that other people want. Oh, I know who she is now. Yeah, it was one of my workshops about understanding here, let me pull it up right now just so I know. She's a Superstore director. And what was her workshop? I don't want to say the wrong title. Okay.
No, live. Hi, Jess.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was identifying and developing directors. So she says, and it's so true, when you're like, especially when you haven't, like I've only promoted 5 directors, and then Lauren has one underneath her. So there's only been 6 directors in my downline ever. I mean, that's a lot, but not a lot at the same time. And so when you're thinking about helping other people, you can even put it at, even if you're not a director yet, sometimes we get insecure because we think like, what do I know? Like, who am I to tell somebody what, you know, what to do or whatever. And if we look at it about, not that we're telling them what to do, but we're sharing our knowledge and our experience, That's really all we can do. Sometimes that's all they need from you is they just want to share. Hi, Jeanette. They just want to learn they want to learn what we know, and sometimes that confidence level is not there yet. So we have to remember that we're only hurting ourselves and hurting them by not sharing, because we may not think that we're not at the level of, you know, we may look at some other director or superstar director or leader that we feel are better at it than we are. But when we think about it, we have more experience than the person that just joined underneath us. So whether we think we have more to learn, which we all do, or not, we have knowledge that other people want. And I love that quote that she put.
That goes back to that comparisons.
Yes, it does. That's a perfect, definite example. Jeanette, are you available? Let me unmute you. Or I think you have to mute. Oh, there you go. So, hi. So we all just kind of shared our takeaways as far as like anything that was significant in your business or even on a personal level that you feel stood out that you'd want to share with like anybody that might be watching the video of like why you felt you felt like your investment to go to Reunion was like validated in any way?
I always get something unique and different from every single reunion, and it never ceases to amaze me how the topic of the speakers and the topic of Orville and Heidi and just the whole general theme of Reunion is just right where I'm at. And the speaker, I didn't get to see the speaker the one night, the Thursday night, but I heard that she was amazing. And but from what I understood, it really had a lot to do with like perspective and connection, just like with what Vin shared. And I have to tell you that Vin, number one, he was Asian. Number two, he was a blonde Asian. So he had me like, I was like, okay, you could fart on stage and I would listen to you right now.
I love it.
So anyway, but he made a lot of sense, and I really, it really lended into what we were even going through for the weekend, is that when you jam like 9 people into a house and expect everybody to get along, you know, there were some moments, I have to say, but the moments were winning moments. And so, you know, it's a matter of, you know, at any point, I don't know how other people of the 9 that were there are viewing it from their perspective, but I definitely know that, you know, your perspective will make all the difference as far as how, you know, you're going to go forward in your future. And so I really loved and just soaked up the fact that the whole perspective thing was really what I'm sitting on, and it's been where I've been at for like the last, I don't know, 6 months to a year probably. And then just the diversity. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that, and I don't even know if the speaker really spoke about it. But diversity to me was really, really huge this reunion, and it's probably because, you know, I've been in this conversation of do your own thing for a long time. That, you know, it's about celebrating different people's ideas and celebrating different people's beliefs and where they stand and where they might be coming from. So, and then also I was so excited when they were talking about the theme of the fall and winter catalog, because I don't know if any of you have seen my business page, but I've been really branching and trying something new and branching into just doing like home decor, like really focusing on that. And so I've been really like exploring like the whole feng shui thing. And then I found Hygge, and I have been like all about like Hygge on my Pinterest board and talking about Hygge in my business page before they even said that. And so when they came out with the fall and winter catalog, I was just like, holy shit, is that crazy? That it was like, you know, there's no mistakes. There's never any mistakes as to how things go. And that just pretty much backs up what I said in the very beginning, is that it's always appropriate for wherever I'm at. And I can't even be selfish and say that it's just all me, because everybody that I talk to says that it totally hit them the same way. So,
can you share a little bit about Hygge for the people that didn't attend, of what that actually is, so it'll mean more to them when they see the catalog?
Absolutely. So I hold on, I've got to put this. I'm trying to do like 4 things at once, so I hope you guys are okay. I'm putting like pasta in my, trying to feed my family, fam. Okay, so Hygge is, so Hygge is very much like, I want to say, and this is my opinion, everybody might get something different, but it's kind of like a minimalistic approach. So it's kind of like Scandinavian, like Holland, like Dutch, like very European. So you have like a minimal type of living, but yet everything is about feel. It's all about warmth, and it's all about comfort. And the warmth and the comfort that they talk about really lends into, to me, really lends into like texture. Oh God, I got to turn this down. Really lends into the texture of things and into light and the experience of the senses. So, you know, it's no wonder that smell and, you know, sight, by looking at our warmers and our diffusers and all of that, really lend into, you know, the feel of Hygge and that comfort. So when they came out with fall and winter Hygge, I was just like, well, it's only fitting that it would be for Scentsy, because I think that Scentsy was Hygge before Hygge was even a thing. So that's really, that's really, and this is what's cool. Like, because we were in the summer months and I was looking at Hygge in the summer months, you know, a lot of people were thinking that it was like Hygge is all about fall and winter and fireplace and things like that. But, you know, you can also apply Hygge in the spring and summer in very like thoughtful ways and still have like a spring and summer vibe in your home. So I just thought that was fun. I'm so all about like the whole style of that just, I can't wait. I can't wait for the fall and winter catalog and to be able to dictate that to my customers and share with them that feel of, you know, how they can implement that into their home through the scents, and then also through the different warmers and stuff that we have. And then who wouldn't think that Winnie the Pooh was Hygge? I mean, God, that Winnie the Pooh was like born Hygge, right? Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and all of them. So, yeah, I was like clapping so loud for the fact that they did that.
That's so awesome. No, I think you hit it right on the head. I think that's perception I got. Even I had never heard of Hygge. And when they tried to explain it, and the way you just shared it was exactly what I got from it. So that was an awesome explanation. And I'm glad that you were able to share that, because people that weren't there, they may not appreciate the catalog the way they will now that they understand the concept behind Hygge, and they'll look at the pictures and the way they set everything up and the products that we have in the fall catalog, and they'll really understand the message and the feeling that we're trying to give for the fall.
You know, I wanted to just share this little additional piece too in reference to like, you know, adopting that style, because so many people really probably had no understanding of what that was, as myself, up until about, you know, 2 or 3 months ago. But the crazy thing is even when I was looking at Feng Shui can be like full on nutso. I mean, if you really follow like the whole, like just a Feng Shui, I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to put crystals hanging from my windows for, you know, I mean, just stupid, like crazy things to me. To some people it may not be crazy, but to me some things were just a little over the top. So what's really awesome is to be able to adopt it to however you want to make it feel for you. And so, you know, just like there's so many different diverse consultants and so many different ways that people do things, we have to remember that, you know, it's really dictated into what we want to make of it. So however you portray it, maybe you're a little more bling. Maybe you're a little more country. Maybe you're a little more beach oriented. You know, whatever it is, the style that you have, you can implement hygge into any of that by just adding little elements and really, you know, having it be whatever you want to make it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So don't forget that, because it's a very personal thing, and you don't have to do it the way everybody else is doing it. Find your style and let that be what speaks to you.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad you added that, because that's very good advice. Because yeah, coming from somebody that didn't know what hygge was, you know, at all until reunion, that I would have perceived that it was just a winter thing, and that's all too. And you just opened up more opportunity and more doors to that whole feeling of
Right.
implemented into you personally, as well as into different parts of the year, as well as feelings of, you know, moods and everything. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that we've been on for about an hour. I don't want to take everybody's day, but I'm glad that everybody was able to kind of share their biggest takeaways. There's so much. I mean, I'm sure we can all agree there's so much to talk about right now. I'm going to be doing some like video workshops just and posting them so people can see everything that I, you know, learned, and then hopefully, you know, we could all collaborate, you know, sometime soon as well. So, but I appreciate all of you coming on, sharing what you learned, what you know, and perspective. I love that perspective concept, because it's, if as long as we look at it that way, that we all have our own perspective of our journey, of what it means to us, what, you know, what our goals are and why, and we're all individuals. And going back to what we said in the beginning is that it's just impossible to compare to each other, because we're all different. And that's what's so authentically wonderful about all of us, is that, you know, we get to be us individuals, and there's no cookie cutter way of doing any of this. So
That's right.
yes. All right. Love you, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope you have a good night.
Can you hear me?
Next time.
Can you hear me?
You have something to say?
Bye, everyone.
Wait.
Bye.
Oh,
I
Michelle.
was going to say, Dia, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
The open house for the fall winter catalog, and that could be the theme of your open house.
Oh, what a great idea.
And then it's sharing the theme or the concept with everybody that comes.
Oh, you are so brilliant. Absolutely.
And then now I have a question.
Yes.
Can everybody like share or comment on the Zoom invite, like what they learned from their trainings and which ones they took?
Yes, that would
Because
be.
I want to take them all, and I can never do that.
Do you want
I
me to
know.
post? I recorded 2 of the 4,
Uh-huh.
so I can post
Oh,
those
please
on
do.
our page.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
The 2 that I put
Yeah.
on my little starter team page.
What workshop that I recorded was the spouse one, which I just uploaded to the Jesse's Angels page. And then I'm uploading Carol Bishop Hulk's, and hers was all about the compensation plan. So that one was huge, and I think that it may be over a lot of people's heads that are brand new, but it's good to have as a resource. As your business grows, it'll be a better understanding of how things work. And she's just funny just to watch. She's just so funny. So you'll enjoy hers anyways, but you'll have a better understanding of how that compensation plan works as well. So I'll upload that. And then I'll go through my notes and do some like kind of like a document bullet point type thing of what I learned as well. And if you guys have the time, I would love for you guys to be able to do that as well. Yeah, that would be awesome.
There was one that it was like recruit, retain something.
Oh, okay.
So they canceled the later 2. So
Oh,
they
Yeah, I
put them on
missed
the
that.
workstation. I know, me too. We got there for the first one, it was full. Second one, full. But they said they were going to record the second one and put it on the workstation videos.
Yes.
Recruit, retain something. I don't know. So something like that.
Okay.
So people can look it up.
Awesome. Yeah, I know they said they were only recording like a handful of them, a couple of them or whatever.
Yeah, because that one they had to cancel the last 2.
Oh, wow.
Before, so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they were packed, so
Awesome.
I mean, at least if they recorded it.
Okay.
But I'll put those 2 up.
I'm going to be doing like videos on just the things like that I learned at leadership as well, and posting it on YouTube and putting it on our page and everything. So yeah, if the more we could share, the better. I mean, I appreciate that. And obviously share with your teams and everything what you've learned, because I will tell you, oh, here's my big aha moment, you guys, is that I thought I was doing good with sharing what I know. But I realized that every reunion I receive so much, I get overwhelmed that I don't know where to start. And so instead of just starting one at a time and just gradually, I wouldn't do any of it. You know what I mean? And that's only hurting me, you know, and my group, you know? And so, and I used the excuse of like, oh, it's just so much. You have to be there, you know? And that was easy for me to say. And it's true, but, you know, they're definitely not going to get what you get out of it when you're there. That's just a given. But if we could just break down any tools that we have and share it, it'll be so much better. I mean, it'll be a world of worth for your team that you have today, and then the future team that you could refer them to it. So awesome. All right, ladies, you have a great night. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Okay. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.